We are live! Hello, everyone. Welcome to The Show Must Go On line. Today's guest is Kalyn West. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for saying yes. I'm so happy we're getting to chat right now.
Yeah, me too. So much.
So much. Yeah, we are bringing in this quarantine energy, this hopefully end of quarantine energy, but still, sometimes that's I feel like we all could use a little wiggle it out at home.
Every day. Do you want to do that right now?
Let's do this.
I wonder what that makes my mic sound like, but
I know.
That's a good shimmy. I haven't shimmied in a long time. Wow, it's still there.
It feels good though.
It does.
I hope you're watching and you're shimmying at home as well.
I hope you're shimmying at home. Just try it. Especially if there's people around, with no explanation, just and then pretend nothing happened.
Exactly. Yeah. And then just walk away, grab the dog, go to the field, whatever. It'll be great.
Great.
So now that we've shimmied it out, let's start at the very beginning. A very good place to start. And let's hear your origin story. What got you into theater and singing and dancing and all that jazz?
Well, if you ask my mom, I was singing before I could talk and dancing before I could walk. So I think it was always apparent, at least to my parents, that apparent to my parents, LOL, that was an accident, that I was going to be in the performing arts or doing something down that avenue. But I'd started. I took some dance training when I was younger, but it was very sporadic because I moved a lot. So I would take a year here and then do this class here. And then so it was kind of all over the place, but I always kept coming back to it. I started off as a dancer and then I didn't get into, quarantine time still. My roommate is baking in the kitchen. So if you hear the oven go off, that's what that is. It's not a fire alarm. No one's in danger.
Okay, good. I was a little worried.
Yeah. No, we're good. We're good. Not a fire alarm. It's just sweet potatoes. We're fine. But where was I? Started off as a dancer, and then I started to get into musical theater. I literally got into musical theater because a friend of mine in junior high dragged me to an audition. And she was like, I'm doing this, so you have to do it. Please come with me. And I was like, ugh. And then I did it. And then it was The Music Man was my very first musical I ever did in 7th grade. And the choir director was handing out solos for Wells Fargo Wagon. And my same friend was sitting next to me and she literally volunteered me and was like, she sounds good. Give her one. It's Katie Bourne, now Katie Taggart. So shouting you out, honey. You really started my career for me. But not that she'll ever see this. But yeah, so I got a solo in Wells Fargo Wagon. And then I was like, oh, I think I'm actually good at this. And so I kept doing the musicals. And then when I was a junior in high school, I got cast as Belle in Beauty and the Beast. And it was such a powerful experience for me because I think I felt confident for the first time in my life, and I felt like I really had a voice, and I felt self-assured in a way that I had could never even conceptualize. And so it brought me home to myself in this new way, and that's kind of where I started, honestly. And then just hit the ground running with it and went to school for it. Got a bachelor's in musical theater at Weber State University in northern Utah. Nice. Which is where I also got my second degree in anthropology, which is the study of peoples and cultures, which is what actors do every single day. So I felt that the two were a really good pair. And also anthropology is really just kind of how my brain works. And so I loved it. Absolutely loved it. But yeah, so that's the beginning, I guess, in a very weird little roundabout nutshell. But there you go.
Yeah, I love it. And I love how being Belle really gave you that confidence, because sometimes being a Disney princess and getting to sing some of these songs actually can give you that boost that you didn't know you needed.
Yeah. Well, it was just, I'd never heard, it's an interesting experience for a young person to go through, of being when I was singing or when I was speaking, everyone was paying attention to me, and not in some conceited way of I want to be the center of attention, because I don't. Well, when I was younger, I did like being center of attention. I'll admit that. But it makes you feel seen. I felt seen, and then I felt like I had a power, and I felt like just felt like it equipped me. It gave me this courage that I'd never felt before. And
That's awesome.
Yeah, it kind of just clicked one day. Like I remember standing on the stage and just being like, oh, yep, this is it. This is what I want. This is what I want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. So then I was looking through, as you can see in the cover photo, you've done so many different productions of so many amazing musicals. We saw In the Heights, and of course we'll get to the Prom and, Mean Girls. We'll kind of put that in a separate little shelf right here. But the other ones, tell me what those experiences were like.
Honestly, I have loved every single show that I've had the good fortune of touching. One thing I want to say for our like young theater audience is that Broadway is special, but Broadway is just another job. And all the other regional jobs, those are just as powerful and have the same level of capability to be able to move people. And like, you're still creating incredible art. Some of the most profound experiences I have had in my career still to date were not on a Broadway big stage. They were in a regional production. Yeah. Like Hunchback of Notre Dame, one of the pictures you have in there. It was one of the most special things I think I've ever done. And I would wish I could go back to that show in a heartbeat, but you never want to like repeat things too long. I'm very much a believer that theater is a living organism in that it has a life cycle. It's born, it lives, and then it needs to die. So when you keep things alive too long, it actually starts to really destroy it. So it's okay that there's an ending to things. And then I just get to look back on them with like sweet nostalgia. So
that's so sweet. I love hearing that. So yes, Broadway is not everything. I love that you said that. Mm-hmm. I will say that's how we met. So let's talk a little bit about Broadway and the Prom.
Right. Yeah.
How did that come about? Had you heard of it beforehand? How long were you with the project?
About Prom?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had just done Prince of Egypt in California. And just like regular, I got an audition from my agents and I went in for the dance call first. And actually, funnily enough, I remember going in that first dance call and being like, oh, this is not mine. Oh, I don't fit in here. Okay, they're not going to want me. Cool, great. And so I just had fun with it. I mean, which is what you should always do. But like I remember walking into the room and everybody was in like bright colored spandex shorts and little crop tops and blah, 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 like color. And I was literally in black tear off jeans with a black crop top and a dark lip on. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. But it was so much fun. It like took the pressure off of it a little bit. And so I remember just having so much fun, like watching other people do the combo and like cheering for people and being supportive, which is how an audition room should be. You're not in competition with. If it's theirs, it's theirs. If it's yours, it's yours, and nothing can change that. So you might as well create a safe space and a positive space where you can all do the best work that you can do. So yeah, so I did the dance call, and I just remember thinking like, yeah, this is not mine. Okay, cool, great. That's fun, great, a dance class, awesome. And then I got called in again. And I remember going like, okay, well, still, I don't know, maybe. And then they called me in for Emma and Alyssa, and like I sang some stuff. I remember I actually sang. So because now the roundabout pieces are connecting. We most recently, you and I, Shoshana, just did a Brain Lab panel with a bunch of incredible artists speaking about trans representation in Broadway, TV, film, or the lack thereof. But I actually sang a Preston Allen song for that audition. I sang a song called I Don't Care. I'm pretty sure that was the title. But I remember reaching out to him and asking for his permission to sing it. But that's what I sang in my prom audition.
Yes.
Yeah. So I owe it to Preston. I really do. But then it fell into place. And I remember exactly where I was sitting when I got the call. I was at my kitchen at my house in Astoria. I was wearing a red sweater. I had just gotten my nails were done silver. I took a picture of myself when I was like sobbing. Like my agent called me and I immediately got emotional because for me, what was this? This was in 2018. I moved to the city in 2013. So it took a while. Some people come and they'll book right off the bat, and then other people, you got to wait a long time, and then some people it maybe never happens. It just it's so random. It's so random, and so it had taken a really long time for me to finally get there. And you go through so many bouts of just questioning and going, am I doing something wrong? Is this going to work out for me? Am I enough? And I'd gone through that hurdle so many times, but always, asking myself, okay, this is really difficult. This is really hard. I'm giving everything I can and it's not working. Do I still want to be here? Yes. Okay. And so I actually think that those moments, those lows, are really pivotal to an actor in knowing whether you really want to be there or not. It's crucial to have that moment because it teaches you how much it means to you. But needless to say, it was an emotional moment. And I remember my agent was like, take a second, call me back. And I just sobbed at the kitchen table. And I took a picture of my like red, crying, happy face. And then I called him back, and then I called my mom, and it was incredible. It was such a whirlwind experience. I got very lucky, and I really did have a fantastic experience with my Broadway debut.
I'm so happy to hear that. That just sounds like, you put in the work. It's a journey, and everyone's journey is different, and it's not good to compare ourselves to one another because it's so easy to do that. But just like you said, a role is either going to be yours or it's going to be someone else's. But pitting yourself against someone else or anything like that is just going to do more harm than it is going to do good.
Well, because if you literally think about it, I am the only me. So when I walk into a room and give my performance and share my energy, there's literally nobody else in the world who can repeat what I uniquely will do. And it's the same goes for every single person. So you're not, in that way, you're not competing against each other. Like, if I'm right for a role, then it couldn't be yours because you are not me. And if you're right for the role, then it can't be mine because I am not you.
Yeah, it's a great mentality to have.
It's honestly like a mentality that got me through that, and turning every single no into a not yet.
What is that like? Because, we've been talking so much about if you're a young person watching, or even just someone who's going in the theater industry and you're not really quite where you'd like to be at, what do you keep telling yourself so that you can keep going and then it finally does pay out in whatever that does mean?
I feel like there's a lot of things. Like, I feel like it's really valuable when you're in that. Find your identity outside of your work so that you take the pressure off of it. Because if you're always going into auditions going, oh, I'm, hanging your worthiness on whether you get the job or not, you're going to lose a lot of jobs. Just know that. You're going to lose more jobs than you will get. You're going to hear no more times than you can possibly stand. And it doesn't mean anything about your value. It doesn't mean anything about your talent or about your work ethic or your worth. Like, that is separate, and you can work on all of that separately. But I would really just encourage young people to find your identity and your worth and your joy in some other things. And it doesn't mean you're not dedicated. It means that you're not setting yourself up for some real heartbreak and some real identity crises, It's not all that you are. You do so many different things. And then I would say have a good support system around you. Have a really good support system of people who genuinely believe in you, and people, not necessarily the ones who will like pet your ego, because I don't think that that's productive for anybody, but the people who will be honest with you, and the people who know you, and the people who are really in your corner. Like, you want to watch out for, pay attention to the people who are in your corner, the people who applaud you when you're succeeding, and the people who show up for you when you're failing, because some people will say they're in your corner, but when you succeed, they don't say anything because they're jealous and it's not genuine. So just really finding your tribes, finding your identity, and putting your eggs in a lot of different baskets, because we're all multifaceted and we can all wear a lot of different hats. And then just, I don't know how to like help anyone with this, but like, you have to speak to yourself the way you would a best friend or your own child. Like, the way that you talk to yourself is dramatically going to affect what manifests in your life. And I'm not I believe in manifestation, but only so far as like you want to be conscious about the headspace that you're creating and the energy that you are not only bringing in, but also channeling out into the world, because I do believe in laws of attraction. I think along with manifestation comes a lot of like boots on the ground work in terms of like self-reflection and therapy, and you're showing up at the auditions and doing the work and taking the class and like taking those risks and whatnot. Like you can't just sit back on your couch and manifest and hope that you get the job when you're not showing up and doing the work. Like that's still a part of it. But I think that creating a really positive headspace and really investing in your relationship with yourself is going to save you in all of this, because it may be a long haul, it may not. It could also be a long haul for a while, and then it'll all work out, and then you'll go through a dry spell, and that's just the nature of the industry, unfortunately. So if that doesn't work for you, and let's be honest, I don't know any actor who like loves that. Who loves that? Nobody loves that.
I love a dry spell.
Right? I mean, but so if you know that is a truth of the realm that you are entering, then how can you set up the other pillars of your life in a way that can keep you standing so that all the weight isn't just on this one pillar?
So wise.
Thank you. I've done a lot of work.
Truly, I mean, so much of what you're saying is resonating to me. And while I'm not an actor, I'm certainly doing my own stuff that is not for the lighthearted. It's like reaching out to people for interviews. There's going to be a lot of no's. There's going to be a lot of no, people don't get back to you. They're busy. They have a life, whatever. And not taking that personally took a long time. And I'm like starting to, get to that. But if you can't handle that, then it's something to like keep in mind going into it. Like maybe this shouldn't be what you're doing. Right. And you can apply that to whatever life thing it is, because unfortunately, not everything's going to work out. But fortunately, you can learn from those experiences, like you're saying, that if something doesn't work out, maybe you can take some moments to figure out why, redirect your energy, and then find where your energy is best served, and that'll be the best.
Yes. Well, I think everything that you just said was so valuable and so insightful. I think that there's a huge reframing that could really do us a lot of good in that. Like, I wouldn't even say, unfortunately, not everything works out, because like we said before, it's a journey, and the journey includes all sorts of highs and lows. It's not all going to work out all the time, just in the same way that you're not going to be happy 24/7. Who wants to be happy 24/7? Like you're going to feel other emotions. And as you feel the darker emotions, it creates space and awareness and empathy and this like reference point to be able to really enjoy and experience the highs. Like you need all of it. Life is so much more complex. It's not this steady linear staircase that just takes you up and up and up and up. Like if anything, you're going to ping pong a lot, and that's a part of it. And I would honestly challenge everyone to reframe the things that didn't work out as gifts. It is a gift. Not a GIF, as in those little moving images or whatever. Please, someone make a GIF of me as I'm hitting my table. Someone make a GIF of me. I've never been a GIF, and I want to be a GIF. Okay. That's me manifesting.
Manifesting the GIF.
Manifesting the GIF, please. But, oh shoot, I distracted myself. Where was I going?
Talking about the gift if you have some extra time on your plate now.
Well, extra time, or maybe you didn't get a job that you really, really wanted, but there might be a reason for that. And I really do trust. I'm not a religious person, but I am a spiritual person, and I really do trust the universe, Newman, whatever is out there. I trust the energy. I trust that I'm going to get what I need, regardless of whether I get what I want.
Yeah.
Like my life always manages to bring me the thing that I need.
Yeah.
And it doesn't always align with what I want. And that is okay, because of the journey, like there are very unique things that me as a soul, like, think about it. If I'm gonna get heady here, but think about it, like, as an individual soul who is just plopped down into this like meat vessel to live this strange life. Like, I have an entirely different trajectory than anybody else, and it's my gift to be able to, you know, ride the ride and find out what it is. And so, like, even I've lost so many jobs. But it's okay, because the ones that I do get, I'm like, wow, that came into my life right when I needed it. It taught me something that I really needed. I have something coming up that is, I'm not going to say what it is because it's not like public yet, but it's a need. It was a need job. And I am so grateful that I'm going to get to do it. Oh my gosh, I keep distracting myself. Where was I going
do
with
it to
that?
ourselves.
I know. Welcome to my brain.
Truly, just a constant stream of
I was going to use the pandemic as an example.
Yeah.
Overnight, like at the time that all of this was happening, I had just had a relationship end and just joined Mean Girls and like moved out of my apartment, and like all of this stuff was changing. And then overnight, just all of my jobs gone. My relationship was over, so I couldn't go back to New York. I didn't have anywhere to live. And then I found myself back home where I thought that I would never be spending that much time ever again. And there were some surprises there. But I just remember sitting there. There was a deck that I went upstairs to every freaking day for like 5 months. I was there for 7 months. But I remember just sitting there going, oh my God, I don't have anything. I don't have a relationship. I don't have a house. I don't have like all of my stuff. I don't have my jobs. And I remember just sitting there going, okay, but I'm still here. So who am I? Who am I right now without any of that?
Yeah.
And this whole pandemic has been a journey of exploring that question and realizing that, oh, I don't actually need those things to like be enough or be a full human or be happy. You know, you actually don't need any of it. So then you get to ask yourself, okay, but do I want it? Do I want to do that? Right. You know? And it's that weird, tricky balance of coming out of the need into the want and then back into the need. And, you know, I'm really, I will always champion getting to know your needs and your wants and paying close attention to which is which and when you need which. Anyway, that's all in my podcast that I need to go back to.
Please, I'm like, you are speaking so many truths. I feel like people could just listen to you for inspiration. Truly fabulous.
Thank you.
Yeah. And so Ukulele Pop Star, which is our dear friend, Kalyn Hayes. I guess I know what I'm doing tonight, which I'm guessing is in reference to the gift. So what?
Oh, please. It's all I've ever wanted in life. Make me a gift, please. But please don't make it not cute. Please make it cute.
Right.
I need it to be cute.
Cute gifts only.
Like, because I tend, like, whenever a photographer comes to a show that I'm in, I dread seeing the pictures that they take, because I don't know why, but I cannot look good in a candid shot. They always manage to catch me with like some, I don't know why. I make really weird facial expressions when I'm on stage. I don't know why. So I don't know what material you're going to be working with. So
I can't wait to see.
Best of luck. Jesus.
Well, Kelly said I drew so much fan art for the prom. So
yes,
you have a big fan.
Well, thank you. I can't even tell you how much that fan art all means to us. It reaches us. We see it, and it makes me so happy. It brings me so much joy. So thank you to you. Kelly was their name. Thank you, Kelly, and thank you everybody who has sent us fan art. It really brightens our day, even now. Oh, geez. Yeah, I know. The prom fans are like, they're legit. Yep. They dredge up stuff sometimes that I'm like, girl, where did you get that? That was on a story one time forever ago. How do you have that? Like, wow. They are slick. Don't put anything on your Instagram that you don't want someone to steal and use later.
I will keep that in mind.
They have all the gummy hose stuff. I don't know if you're familiar with what the gummy hose was. My
Can
dressing
you tell
room.
us?
Yeah,
Yep.
so my dressing room was a fun little bunch. Drusha Cavazos and Brittany Zeinstra and Gabby Campo. But me, Drusha, and Brittany were the gummy hose because we had, I don't want to say an addiction because it was more like a love affair. But it was a problem with gummy candies, specifically, gummy bears, gummy worms, the gummy fruit, anything gummy. They liked the sours. I didn't really like the sours, but Black Forest is a fantastic brand. But our fans found out that we like gummy bears and things. And so I remember like twice we got giant boxes full of like pounds and pounds and yes, but like multiple 5-pound bags of gummies.
Wow.
There was one 5-pound bag. You can't see what I'm doing. It was literally the size of my torso.
Oh no.
And we finished it in a week.
That wasn't even enough.
It wasn't. It was so bad. But if you look back at that choreography and think about all the calories we were burning, like we needed that so bad. So yeah, we got fan art and gummy bears was keeping us going in that show. But we called ourselves the Gummy Hose, and we would like do raps and stupid things. Jerusha introduced it to us. She calls it brain flexing. So we would like brain flex and make up raps on the spot and just like do stupid things being Gummy Hose. It's dumb, but I loved it so much.
I love it. I love everything about this.
The content's out there. I think there's what is it? I can't remember. The Prom content is one Instagram account that does a lot of really wonderful little compilations, but there's definitely some gummy stuff in there.
I'm going to have to check that out. I mean, I love the Prom. I saw it twice. I was blown away. The dancing was just so phenomenal. The high energy. How do you keep that up 8 times a week?
You have to live like a monk in the rest of your life. It's a lot like hydrate like crazy, drinking a lot of water, take your vitamins. You have to eat properly. So like you're always conscious of what you're eating. Cause if I go eat like a Chipotle bowl, I can't do the freaking show. Nope. Your diet is very specific. A lot of like yoga and stretching and PT because your body, it's hard on the body 8 times a week. It's really hard on the body. So yeah, just like constant self-care, constant self-care. Come out of the show, vocal rest. Don't go to parties. I don't go out to bars. Don't go to brunch. Like you miss out on a lot. There's a lot, but it's the necessary sacrifice because your body is your tool. Your body is your instrument. So you have to take care of it adequately in order for it to be able to perform the way you need it to. So
wow. Mm-hmm. But it's worth it. That's the give and take, right?
Yeah. No, yeah. A lot of that's a big question you want to ask yourself too, of like any industry is going to require a great amount of sacrifice from you. So you just want to ask yourself whether you're willing to pay that price, whether you're willing to make that sacrifice and whether it will be worth it for you. Like I've missed so many Christmases and holidays with my family. My family lives still in Salt Lake City, Utah. Well, some of them. And then my other sister's in Arlington, Virginia. But I spend a lot of time away from my family. And while I'm working, I'm like, I never get to celebrate my birthday because I'm always on contract over my birthday.
When's your birthday so we can celebrate it?
September 12th. And again, I will be on contract over my birthday this year. So I'm not going to be able to celebrate my birthday. No. It's okay.
I mean, but yay. It's
yay. Yeah, exactly. But that's the thing. It's like, I'm willing to pay that price. And just when you have downtime, take advantage. Like I remember in between contracts one time, my agent, I kept on emailing him and being like, oh, are you submitting me for this? What about this project? Blah, 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 blah. And I was just like, my agents are fantastic. They take care of it. Okay. Yeah. So he was like, hey, guess what? Someday you're going to wish you had this downtime. You're going to wish that you had nothing to do. So go enjoy it. And I was like, oh yeah, you're right. And then especially after Prom, I remember being, oh yeah, take that time. Enjoy it because our job demands a lot from us. So don't feel guilty about that. Like during this pandemic, I mean, I've been hunkering down and, working here and doing the things that I need to do, but I'm also like, I'm going on some trips. I haven't
Yeah.
taken myself on a vacation. So I went to Puerto Rico recently, and I'm going to Hawaii, and I'm going back home and going to see my family. I'm like,
live it up.
I'm going to do it, because then things will start happening again, and then I won't be able to. So take advantage of it. Take advantage of it while you can.
Totally. And, I want to talk about too, that you did the ensemble, but you were also an understudy. So that takes up this other part of your brain as well. Do you have any experiences from that you want to share?
It was so fun. I loved being able to understudy. It was a little stressful and going like, when am I going to go on? Because it could be at the drop of the hat. I remember when I first did go on, they almost put me on at intermission. I was literally going to do Tonight Belongs to Us as Shelby, which was my character, and then I was going to change and go become Alyssa after intermission. But Izzy pulled through. She's a champ. She's a powerhouse. So because she had an injury in her leg, but she pulled through the rest of that show, and then I went in for like 10 subsequent days after that. But it's a unique thing to be in rehearsal as an understudy, because you get to just play with the show without any real pressure. I mean, there's pressure, but it's like a private rehearsal room where you just get to kind of experiment and like see what it would feel like to do your version of it, but I loved it. And like, I'm very grateful that I got to go on for Alyssa. At the end there, after Tony's, I also became a Emma understudy, but I never got to go on for that role. So, but it was still a joy to be able to learn the material and, just try it on for size. I got to do one run in understudy rehearsal with my costumes. Didn't get to wear wigs or anything, but I got to do a full run in costume, which was really cool. And then I got to do a number of like performances, like the clip that you have that you pulled from the Broadway in Bryant Park. Like I got to do some performances of the role. So that was great. It was nice. It was really great that they let me do that.
Yeah. Yeah, that was so great being able to film you for that and seeing that. Like I get so many comments on that YouTube video of how much people loved you and Izzy. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that was such a fun performance too. Because like weird little things were going wrong. And then she did that dip, and it was like such a genuine moment of like, oh my God, I'm gonna drop you. Please don't fall on the floor. But it was just fun. It was such a good time. It was really fun.
Yeah. I love Broadway in Bryant Park and Broadway Under the Stars and, all of these Broadway plus events that, it gives accessibility to people because they're all free events and you can go and, of course, accessibility, there's a lot of different meanings to that. And I wish that it could be even more accessible, but that's why being able to film it and put it online is pretty great because people all over the world can see it.
Yeah. Yeah, it does make me kind of sad that more people couldn't see the Broadway production. I know we have the movie and whatnot, which gets the story out in an entirely different way. But the Broadway production really was something special, and it kind of makes me sad that more people don't get to experience that,
Yeah.
So
have you watched the film?
No.
That's fair.
I don't know if we want to go into that, but it's kind of a painful spot for some of us.
Oh no. Yeah, I'll say this is like coming from me, not speaking for anyone else, but I love when like productions use the Broadway cast, and I was really like vocally fighting for it, and not that like this voice has any say in whatsoever, but I could imagine that watching it with a different cast could be not the best experience. So I understand as much as one could understand not being in your shoes.
And just especially this year with everything that's gone on, I was like, I don't need to put myself down that emotional road. I don't need that. I'm not going to do it.
That's fair. So I'm glad you took that mental health.
Yep. I've worked very hard at getting to know exactly what I need and don't need. So
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, speaking of mental health, our dear friend, Dr. Drama, Lisa Hurwitz, yay! How did Brain Lab come about? Talk to us about that.
It literally, so Elisa and I, we have been in the same room together because she saw me in Moby Dick, but we've never like met each other. Like, hi, I'm Kalyn. Hi, I'm Elisa. Shake hands, or elbow bump is the new thing. Like, we've never met in person. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I'm stifling a burp. That's how you know I'm on a roll. I'm sorry. You're getting a very. This is me. But so I went on for her. She does a series on Instagram called Mental Health and Musicals. And I was a guest twice on her show, and we just like got along really well and vibed really well. And so I can't remember how long ago it was. It was before I moved back to New York, because I was in Utah for the first 7 months of the pandemic, and then I moved back in September of last year. Oh, goodness gracious! I thought I hit my mic. But so she reached out to me one day, and she had this idea of wanting to start something. Wasn't quite sure what it was, and I feel like we've been going through a growing period of really figuring out what this platform really is. But one thing we both were and are so passionate about is destigmatizing conversations around mental health. So much of this stuff is taboo to talk about, and it shouldn't be. It can be so liberating for ourselves and for our communities and our society as a whole to be able to talk openly and freely without any shame about a lot of these issues. You don't have to hide it. And so we really set out with the intention of normalizing these conversations, like being able to talk about imposter syndrome and our insecurities and self-care. And let's see, what else? What did we talk about yesterday? We talked about self-reflection, like being able to take your ego out of the picture and then really like critically assess yourself with compassion. But like being able to dig in and like take a deeper look at yourself. And like, we're going to continue to talk about all sorts of things. And we've just been recently branching it out to more, we want to share the platform and perpetuate more dialogues, not just around mental health, though everything bleeds into mental health, into and out of mental health. So then perpetuating more conversations around, social justice and injustice and oppression and, broken systems and shedding light on things. I think if we can shed light, and if we can open our eyes collectively, if we can really look at a problem, it's not so scary. The scariest part is avoiding it and sitting in the unknown and not wanting to open it up because you just don't know what's going to happen. I promise it's not as scary when you actually open up the problem, dig in, look at it, get messy, but then at least you know and you can start to do something about it. So that's what we are trying to do with Brain Lab. And it's been such a joy to be able to do it. I think we're obviously going to keep on doing it. I want it to grow and like share and spread to more people. We've got I actually don't know how big our audience is at this moment in time, but we hope to grow it. It feels like a really important thing to be doing right now. So I'm very grateful that she reached out to me wanting to be partners on that. And she's incredible. The work that she's done. I told her the other day, and I really meant it, that she's the kind of person I wish I'd known about her when I was like younger, because I would have idolized her. She's such a powerhouse, so inspiring, cares so much about people, and is so genuinely committed to helping people and understanding more about them, while also understanding more about herself, and considers herself a perpetual student. Like, we don't ever arrive at a place where we know everything. The minute you think that, you're in trouble. Like, we always have a capacity to learn more about ourselves and about each other. So.
Yeah, exactly. Well said. I'm glad that I'm friends with her. I've known her for a few years now, and just it's cool to have someone who, supports you and you support them back, and you can exactly what we were saying at the beginning too with auditions and stuff. Like, we both have these different platforms and we're not competing. Like, I promote her, she promotes me. It's great when we both win, we both succeed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's functioning from an abundance mindset rather than one of scarcity. Like, I feel like we've been thrust into these paradigms that make us believe that there isn't enough to go around when there is.
There is. Yeah.
So yeah, that's great. Abundance mindset.
Yeah, definitely. So I want to circle and take this thing for a second, but we were talking earlier about this poem journey that you've been on with writing them, and I'd love for you to tell us more and maybe give us a little performance if you feel up to it.
Yeah. So, and see, I'm like, I've been doing this for how long have I been in the performing arts? And I'm like, I get nervous about this, which is how you know you need to do something when it makes you scared. But I've always written poetry my whole life. I have written poetry, but I've never shared it. It's always been a way that I work through my, it's how I work through life, how I work through things that are happening, how I process pain or joy. Mostly I think a lot of painful emotions come out in art because it is so vibrant. So I've always written poetry, and then I just remember feeling so dazed and like shell shocked when I got back to Utah and was looking at a complete blank amount of time going, I don't know what I'm going to do. And so I was writing a little bit, and I just decided, I was like, well, here's one little thing that I can do every single day. I can just sit, I can do I literally accomplish one thing every day. If nothing else, I accomplish this one thing. And so I just started writing and put a hashtag, a poem a day. And I fully only intended to do it for a month. I started this March 19th of 2020. It is May 21st, 2021, and I still am doing it. And I don't even know how many poems I have. I mean, if you do the math with like days that it's been, sure, but I've also written sometimes multiple poems a day. So, but it's been a really fantastic exercise in just like sharing my art, which can be really scary sometimes because my poetry is me when normally I'm the vessel for somebody else's voice. It's like a way in which I get to share my voice, which can be very vulnerable. So yeah. And when you asked me about performing today, I was like, well, I don't really play an instrument, and I am not about to whip out a karaoke track. And girls got to get back in some like vocal lessons, some coaching, some like warm-ups and things before, because it's been a while. All of us are going, oh shit, I gotta sing again. It's been a minute. But this was one. So I was telling you earlier, this was one early on in quarantine when I was home. For some reason, the air in Utah inspired me to write a lot of music. And like I said, I don't play an instrument, so all of it was purely just like singing melodies into my phone. But I wrote like a lot of songs. And then as soon as I left Utah, I haven't written one since. It's like my Utah album. I don't know why. I'm gonna make it, buy it. But there was this one little piece that started off as, it was just a little poem. It's very short. But later, after I wrote it and posted it, I went back and realized that it was actually a melody. And if I ever made an EP, if I ever made this album, this would be probably the opener, and it would just be a cappella. And I'd probably use the voice memo that I did and there's like a mistake in it, but I love that because life isn't perfect. So, yeah, I'll just sing it for you if that's all right with everyone. It does not have a title. I like never title my poems. Okay. I spend most of my time just thinking about the things that I say and do, turning them over and over again, hoping some sense will come shining through. I've long since given up getting it right and rely on the beating of my heart. Though the sickening sink of my stomach remains, sometimes that's not the worst part. The worst are the moments I cannot take back, the times living furthest from my pride. When the doing won out in the race against my brain, and now there is nowhere to hide. Oh, I certainly don't aim to be perfect, but I tell you I aim to be true. In this life, all we have are the things in our heads, the ones that we say and the ones that we do. There you go.
Yay! That was beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you for letting me share it. I'm sweating.
That was stunning. And your voice is so beautiful and angelic. It like really was calming for me too.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. This time has given me a really fascinating opportunity to be able to explore what my real voice sounds like. Whereas, singing Prom or sounding like a dog,
Slimbo really wants to know your voice. Yeah.
Love it. He wants to add. We'll do another chorus with you later. Don't worry. But yeah, like I said, I'm always a vessel for somebody else's art and voice, and it's like you have to do what the music direction wants and sing in a particular way, and So this feels like a really cool opportunity to be able to explore exactly what my voice sounds like and what my art sounds like. So, yeah.
Yay. Love, love, love.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Maybe someday. There's a writer in there. I originally wanted to be an English major, actually. I was an English major for a
Wow.
long time, and then like 3 years into college, I found an anthropology class and was like, wait a minute, and then I changed my second major like last minute. Still finished in time, but yeah, I used to be an English major.
That's impressive.
Thanks.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so before we run out of time, we still got like 15 minutes, but I have some things in, and I feel like our discussions have been so lovely and long. I really appreciate that. It's funny because some people are like, "Oh my God, I talk so much." I'm like, "Please, you talk the entire time. I will just sit back. I just want to hear what you have to say." I'm
fully aware that that's the point of this, right?
That's exact, and I appreciate you knowing that, because if I'm like, tell me about this, and then I get like a one word, I'm like, oh no. It was good.
I'm like,
I enjoyed it.
No, girl, I'm here to help you.
I was like, oh my gosh, she is giving me life with these answers, so thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for listening, honestly. So yeah, thank you.
It has been a joy. Yeah, truly, like having this series has just been so nice to connect with people in a time where connecting is so difficult, and we're staying at home and not being able to see people, and yet being able to see people virtually and connect and chat has just been I feel so grateful for it.
Yeah. Well, I know that I am, and the rest of the community is so grateful that you're doing it. And it's surprising how powerful it can be. Like, I know it's through a screen and we're not in the same room, but there is still something about like, I hear your voice, I see your face, like we're in dialogue. Like, conversations are so powerful. And so I'm just really grateful to be a part of them, and that more people are having them, because it really makes a difference. So
yes, definitely. So I feel like if we don't talk about the Mean Girls experience, that would be so silly, because that was so cool. Tell it. I know. I feel like we've been popcorning, but I like that because it's natural, right?
Yeah,
in conversation, you don't go like A, B, C. Let's talk about this. Let's talk.
We don't live life like a checklist, so we're not going to do this like a checklist. Like, no.
Exactly.
Alisa and all of our brain labs, they're non-scripted. We just go. We're just like, all right, let's hit this topic, because we want it to feel like natural conversation.
Mm-hmm. And it is. It does feel like that.
Mm-hmm. So Mean Girls.
So Mean Girls. I wore a little pink for you, just a little.
Yay! Oh, I love it. I'm like, do I have any pink? I don't usually wear a lot of pink.
It's okay. I'll wear enough for the two of us.
Okay, great. Thank you. I could go throw on a pink lip. I might have some. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, Mean Girls was crazy. That was the last thing I was doing right before pandemic. And it happened. It was a whirlwind. I didn't audition. They needed a really quick emergency, injury replacement. One of the girls had an injury that she needed to go get surgery on, and they needed someone like quick. And so the stage managers for Mean Girls are the same stage managers for Prom. And so they knew me, and they just reached out and asked me. And originally it was going to be like, hey, it's Monday, we're going to ship you out Wednesday. And I was like, okay. But my agent got me a week. And so I found out, got the thing, and I was like, oh, I'm leaving in a week for tour. Okay. So went and did it, learned the show. I did, I think, 10 performances, and then tour shut down.
No.
And I was literally in the air because it was in my contract. I had a callback back in New York. And so before I signed, we were like, you have to let me leave to go do this callback. And that's the only way I'll do the tour. And so I had flown back to New York. I'd done my performances on like a Wednesday night, flew on like I don't even remember what day it was really, but I was in New York, did my callback, and everyone was like, ooh, nervous about COVID. And I remember standing in my agent's office and being like, I think it's really being blown out of proportion. Like, it can't be that bad. And then we got the call in the office, Broadway shut down. And we were all like, what? And then I was in the air flying back to tour. And when I landed, I got a voicemail from my stage manager that was like, call me. And I walked right into a meeting with Equity talking about how the tour was shut down. And then we literally proceeded to going, where am I sending you? Where am I sending you? Like buying plane tickets, sending you home. And it was like, but I don't even, I realized that's probably not the story that you wanted to hear, but
I mean, it's fascinating though.
It's what happened.
Really,
but yeah, no, we learned that choreo fast. It's a fun show to be a part of. That crew, that cast was so wonderful. It was a really kind of shitty time because I literally lost my relationship the first week that we were on tour. And so I was just like barreling into the work and trying to be okay. And it's okay. The relationship needed to end. All things happen for a reason. But I was hurting and they were so lovely and so welcoming. And I cannot say thank you enough for that. Like, I think that's almost more important than even like the show and all the glam and like stage door and whatnot. It's like, that was a group of really, really genuinely good people. And they made me feel so welcome. Myself and Brittany Conagati were coming in to learn the roles. And they just made us feel so very welcome. And you don't always get that. So that was really special. That's the biggest thing I took away from that tour.
Well, having that support system like you've been talking about is huge. And it's so great that when you really needed them, these people came together for you. That sounds wonderful.
And I was a stranger. They didn't know me. And so that just spoke so much to who they are as people and the community and the environment that they've created out there, that they were willing to extend that kind of kindness and generosity to someone that they don't even know.
Yeah.
So it was special.
My friend Erica is saying the friendships you make are amazing. My best friends have come from theater.
Yeah, 100%. And it's kind of funny over the course of like a lifetime. I look and I'm like, oh yeah, I got these like best friends from this show and the best friend from this. And like, you just collect people. And that's something unique to what we do that I think is so special and beautiful. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that. It's cool. It's really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And another friend that I've picked up along the way this year through our mutual connection with Preston Max Allen, love, who we spoke about earlier, that you did one of his songs for an audition, but I also saw that you were in a 54 Below concert. Is that right?
I was. Oh my goodness, that was so long ago. And what was her? Kristen Stokes. Who was it? Oh my God, it was so long. My memory is so bad. But I sang my memory is sometimes so bad. If it's not choreography and lines that I need like right now, my brain dumps it. It's so bad. I wrote a poem once when I was in junior high about my brain being Swiss cheese. I'm not even kidding. I can go back and
That's a good one.
Yeah, like I literally wrote a poem about my brain being Swiss cheese. But yeah, no, I did a Joe's Pub. Wait, was it 54 Below? Oh, I've done a few. That's what it was.
Amazing.
There was one at Joe's Pub that I did where we sang an apocalyptic like lesbian love song, and it was awesome. Ooh. And then 54 Below. Oh yeah, we did. Oh my God, that one. Lisa's Reckoning, the Carrie. That's what that was. Oh my God, I forgot about that. I remember I learned it so fast and just being like, oh, I gotta just like pull this out. That was crazy. It was fun.
Good. I saw it on YouTube and I was like, ooh, I have to talk about it.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, it's on YouTube. Oh, God.
A performance. Oh, no, my video's on YouTube.
Hey, it's stressful. It's stressful because sometimes you don't know when you're being recorded. And the thing about live theater, too, is that, like, normally it's like if one show goes a little, you're like, oh, dang it, I didn't really want it to, that wasn't great, I can do better. Yeah. You have a chance the next day, and you have the course of the run to like develop it and get it right. Whereas if you're filming it, it's like that one take is out there forever.
That's what people watch.
I know. Yep. And that's what they're going to see. And that's what goes down in history, you know, which is, you know, the world. That was one of the songs. It was called.
Was that from We Are the Tigers?
No.
Okay.
Was it? Wait. Oh, I'm getting so confused between the shows now. Also, did you know what? If We Are the Tigers, did you see that? What was the off-Broadway theater it was at? It was so great.
It was like 82 something 80. I didn't get to see it, so now I'm trying to remember because I interviewed Preston like a week or two ago. Now my brain is like Swiss cheese.
That's what happens to me. I just have to own it. Like, I'm sorry. I don't remember on the
No,
spot.
that's okay. Lisa's Reckoning? Is that
I think it was called Lisa's Reckoning. Yeah. Chosen Few was a different song that we sang.
Okay.
But yeah, just all of Preston's shows, I just know that I'm gonna like skrelt and I'm gonna wear a choker. So
please. Oh yeah. The Rage, Carrie too.
The Rage, that what it was. Yeah, the Carrie. Oh my God. It was so funny. It was so funny. And such a great group of people who were so talented. I think that was my first 54 Below show, actually.
Ooh.
I used to be so scared of it. Because it's like you put it in your head as this like pedestal, this like monumental thing.
Yes.
And it's great. It's just a little venue, you know. But
yeah,
that was like
a little basement.
Yeah, which is cute and fun. And I've like seen and done some like great shows there. Most recent, what I did the Buffy the Vampire musical thing. It's God, what is it called? Somebody out there, I know you know it. Look it up. What is the episode that they do that's a musical and then we performed it? I can't remember what it's called. Please, somebody.
Kelly, find it for us.
Come on. I know you know this. I did that. I think that was the last thing I did at 54 Below, which was crazy because that was pages in hand, like, which is sometimes so fun, but also really stressful, but fun.
I could only imagine. We love.
That was great.
Yes, we love Jen Ashtep. So true.
Yeah. Yep.
Ooh, and you did the Ladies Improving. That's true.
I did. I've done that one twice. I did that one at 54 Below, and I did it at Green Room 42.
It's really good, y'all.
I love that song. That's what I want to be. I want to be Beth Level. I want to grow up into Beth Level.
She's a great thing to aspire to.
Not only because she's just such a brilliant actor.
Yeah.
She's so good. Mm-hmm. Like every day watching her on stage was a masterclass. I bet. And she's a powerhouse vocalist, but also she is the goofiest, kindest human being. That's what I gravitate to. I don't care how talented you are. If you're a shit human, that's what stands out to me. And that whole cast was full of like really good humans. Really good humans.
Love for all of them. And Erica's saying, was it Once More with Feeling?
Yes. See, I knew someone would find it. That's what it was. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Have to check it out.
Oh my God. It's ridiculous. But it's very fun. I think they did a streaming of it actually, because there were two shows. So they did the first cast like the year before and then our cast.
Yeah.
They streamed it over Halloween for pandemic or something. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I love when they did that. Cool. Okay. So I know we're running out of time and I want to be respectful of your Friday. So let's talk about a nonprofit or charity that you want to shout out.
Yeah. So as soon as you mentioned this and asked me which one I wanted to put out there, the first one that came to mind is an organization called She's the First. And they specifically raise money and organize programs to help young girls with their education, educating them, empowering them, supporting them, because knowledge is power. And gifting someone education is such a gift. And as we've talked about, like my educational journey when I was younger, if I hadn't had those scholarships, if I hadn't had that support, I don't know that I would have been able to explore all of that in the way that I did. So I was very, very fortunate. I'm also the first generation graduate in my family. So that is a huge source of pride for me. And I want to be able to give that to other people. And I really want that experience for everyone. And not everyone may choose it because school is not necessarily for everyone. But if young people want it, I want them to have that opportunity, because I found so much of myself through academia, and just like the confidence that it gives you, the understanding that it gives you, just developing yourself as a human being. Like everyone deserves that. So this organization specifically supports young girls so that they can pursue and accomplish their educational goals. So I love that.
Thank you. Yeah, I love that one. I'm so glad you chose it. And the story you have behind it is so beautiful as well.
Thanks. Yeah, it's important to me.
Mm-hmm. Erica saying, love it. What a great mission. So true.
Yeah. Please look them up.
Definitely.
And share them. So yeah.
Yay. And if people want to look you up, where can they find you on social media?
Instagram, you can find me at MISSKURLYKAY, as in Curly with a K. Miss Curly K. I also have a website that I haven't updated since before the pandemic, but it's there. It's just my name, www.kalynwest.com. But I'm like really active on social media, so I'm always available there. So yeah.
Perfect. Yay. Yeah, I know. Updating things. Who has the time?
Especially this year, I was just like, no.
No. I know.
There's nothing going on. So, but yeah, I'm also really bad at that. I could be way better at it. I forget to do it. So I need an assistant. I need an assistant. I need someone to do that for me. I need to pay someone to do that for me. Someday. That's when I know I've made it. When I can pay someone to run my social media and my website.
Love that. And y'all can find me at B-Way Show. That's BWAYSHO, and B-Way Show Podcast, which is now on the Broadway Podcast Network.
I know. I wasn't even going to attempt to make that sound.
Gotta go for it sometimes, you know?
I'm not going to do it now, but as soon as we hang up this call, you know I'm going to try it. Okay.
Perfect. I love it. Yeah, that I just made that announcement today. It's so exciting. Tuesday, we have a great live video, so everyone tune into that, and you can find that out on my social media. Yay! Thank you for all the support. It has been great. Yay! Is there anything else you came into today wanting to say to all your fans out there?
I just appreciate you, and keep your heads up. Keep on taking care of each other. Keep on taking care of yourself. And I don't know. I love you all. Smile.
Yeah.
Don't smile if you don't want to, but if you feel like it, smile and enjoy it. So yeah. I don't know.
I love it. Smile if you want to. A great way to end this.
Great. We'll leave it at that.
Well, thank you so much for coming on, sharing your energy, your song, your voice, everything with us. I really appreciate it.
I really appreciate it. Thanks for having me. It's been a joy.
Thank you. And thank you all for watching. This has been so great. You're amazing, everyone here. We appreciate you. And take care of yourselves. Wear a mask, get vaccinated, and we'll see you at the show.
Yep.
Bye, y'all.